A company offers you $1 million for every year of your life you agree to give up. Sign away 1 year and you're a millionaire. Sign away 5 and you have $5 million, a paid-off house, and no more mornings you dread. Here's the immediate problem with that. If everyone can get millions of dollars this way, the money stops meaning anything. A house that costs $400,000 today costs $15 million in this economy because the market just got flooded with cash from everyone selling their 20s. The wealthy end up living 500 years, buying decades off 18-year-olds desperate enough to trade away their future for a down payment. That's the version most people picture the moment they hear this idea. Here's the part that doesn't get talked about. This wouldn't run on 10-year contracts signed once at a clinic. It would run the way everything else runs now. As a subscription, you've used a buy now, pay later app before for a pair of shoes or a new phone. This economy works the same way, except the price isn't listed in dollars. It's listed in days. Paying off a credit card costs 14 days. A new phone costs 3 days, tapped straight off your own biological clock. Humans are bad at weighing a cost that arrives later instead of right now. So people don't just sell years for houses. They sell weeks for things that feel good for an afternoon. You'd have 25-year-olds who look 40, not because they bought a mansion, but because they couldn't stop spending days on designer clothes, concert tickets, and food delivery apps. Now think about the actual transaction. An 18-year-old walks into a clinic, signs a contract, and wakes up in a 38-year-old body. It isn't gradual. The years don't get lived first and paid for later. They're removed all at once. You close your eyes at 18, you open them, and a decade is already gone. You sit up and your back aches, your knees pop, there are lines around your eyes you don't remember earning, and your mind is still 18 years old sitting inside a body that has existed for 38 years. You have the emotional maturity of a teenager housed in the deteriorating shell of a middle-aged adult. You didn't just lose time, you lost the part where you were supposed to grow into yourself. The mistakes, the heartbreak, the years spent figuring out who you are. You traded the part of life where you actually live, just to afford the part where you merely survive. If most people are selling their 20s just to get by, youth stops being ordinary. It becomes the rarest thing money can buy. Being 22 and actually looking 22 becomes the biggest status symbol on the planet. Only the children of the wealthiest people get to experience their own 20s the normal way. Now, flip it around and look at the ultra-rich who've bought themselves 500 years. It looks like winning. It probably isn't. A human brain wasn't built to hold 500 years of memory. At some point, it runs out of room and starts overwriting itself. A 500-year-old billionaire would eventually forget their own childhood, their first love, their own children born centuries earlier who couldn't afford the treatments and died a long time ago while their parent kept living. They wouldn't be people anymore in any way that matters. They'd be something closer to a ghost that never has to leave, hoarding time it no longer knows what to do with, while everyone else burns through their actual life in small pieces, just to keep the lights on. None of this needs a machine to invent. A version of it is already running. Think about an average commute. 1 hour there, 1 hour back, 5 days a week. That's 500 hours a year. 20 full days of a single human life, spent sitting in a car every single year just to earn the right to pay for the place you sleep in. Chronic financial stress does something measurable to your body. It shortens your telomeres, the protective caps on the ends of your own DNA. Being broke, working a job that grinds you down, skipping sleep to cover a second job, all of it ages you faster at a cellular level. You're already giving up real years at the end of your life to afford rent today. And the doom scrolling isn't separate from any of this either. 3 hours a day handed over to a feed isn't currency changing hands in dollars. It's your attention harvested in fractions, so a handful of companies can sell ads and get richer off the hours you'll never get back. The only difference between the dystopia in this story and the one you're already living in is the exchange rate. You already paid a price this year, you just never got shown the number.